bringing up good points, and I was being honest when I say, like, to a degree there is fear there, because all these books that are some of my favorite books hearken to the horn of saying you're not as different as you think you are from these people. You're capable of, you're human. We think of Stalin, we think of Hitler as different species of human, but they're human. And you're capable of what they did, just like you're capable of doing what the greatest humans have done.
Jordan Peterson says we're more like Hitler than you think.
And that,
we're more like Hitler than you think.
And when you come to really think about that,
which is
it's terrifying.
A nut statement.
Yeah, but I don't think he's wrong. And he's coming really from reading a lot of Dostoevsky, which talks about the same thing. And Dostoevsky had a lot of influence on Jung, and he's a Jungian. And Jung essentially talks about knowing your dark side versus repressing it and hiding from it and banishing it. He talks about knowing it, and it's only through knowing that you can see through it. And that's a scary thing to think about. But if you really take for a second the wisdom in a lot of the things that Jordan Peterson says, and probably the thought that went into that statement, and you think, maybe he's got a point. And maybe that's the exact same thing Viktor Frankl was saying. And maybe that's the exact same thing that Solzhenitsyn's saying. That you're not as different as the people that committed these atrocities. And you like to think you are because you're in a very different social situation. But you've never been hungry like that. And you've never had 1 out of 5 people after you. And you've never had your family and your entire DNA line on the line with what you say and how you act. So you don't really know. And when you think about that, that's a little bit scarier. That's a little bit more, okay. That gives you a little bit of pause. It makes you really, really want to get from a place of hate to love and not judgment. Because judgment is almost saying that something is not you. Judgment is almost not identifying with that act of a certain person. If I judge you, I'm judging something that I think is not within me. But when I see you do something that I know I'm capable of doing, I can have a lot more understanding, right? And so understanding that these were humans that committed these atrocities, and that you are human too, and you are capable of both the good and the bad. That's why the line between good and evil runs through the heart of every man. Even in the most evil of hearts, there's still good, and even in the most good of hearts, there's still a sequestered place of evil. That's why that hits so deeply, because we kind of, in our inner psyche, know that to be true. And that's scary.
That was really profound.
It's kind of, yeah.
I just wanted to say that real quick.
It's not me. That's not like, those aren't my ideas. This is me. This is like regurgitation of just reading Man's Search for Meaning a couple times, and reading Alexander Solzhenitsyn, and listening to Jordan Peterson, and listening to Lex Friedman, who talks about this a lot too. That, you're not so different from every other human being in the world. If you grew up in their circumstances, would you be different? That's the question. And nobody knows. Nobody really knows, because you can't do that.